In the previous video, we saw how a group of children led by a girl called Didi and four other kids were playing a game called Plant Fairy. Yes, we are learning the second chapter in the Environmental Studies textbook of the third standard. The game Plant Fairy demands the children to touch or hold or bring something what the plant fairy says. Now, in the first game, Didi was a plant fairy. She had told the children to first go and touch a plant, and second, she had asked them all to touch a tree with a thick or a thin trunk. Now, seeing this, Michael had wanted to become a plant fairy himself. So he had asked the children to go get some leaves quickly. This is where we stopped the lesson in the first video. Now let's continue from the next page onwards. Do all the leaves have similar colors, shapes, and margins? This is a question put forward by the textbook. Now you can see different leaves here, and they're all different in their shape, in their size. Like you can see, some are circular, some are triangular, some are thin, some are a little more wider. So all the leaves are different in their margin. You can see how their margins are different in their color, in their structure, everything. For example, if you want to see some live examples, can you see the margin of this leaf? This is different in color, in the margin, in everything when compared to a leaf like this. This leaf, for example, has a smoother edge and a margin when compared to this leaf that was shown before. Similarly, this leaf has whiter or pale patches onto its surface. So what I would like to conclude is that all leaves may or may not be similar, but all are there, all are different. Okay, let us proceed. Dayara said, I did not know that there were so many types of leaves. Look, some are round, some are long, and some are triangular. Now, an example for a long leaf is this. Can you see? It's a long leaf. And an example for a triangular leaf is one which we showed before. This is a triangular leaf. So we saw different leaves and how they are all different. Ammu said they are of so many different colors as well. Some are light green, some are dark green, some are even yellow, red, and purple. There is one which is green but has white patches on it. Exactly. So we saw how some are light green, like this for example, and some are dark green. And some are yellow, red, or purple, like this. Can you see how this is a little purple? And there is green, which has white patches onto its surface, like this one. Let us continue. Look, even the margins of these leaves are different from each other. Some have straight margins and some have uneven. Some of these margins even look like a saw, said Shabnam. The margin is the edge of the leaf. If this is a leaf, this is the margin. Now this has a very smooth margin, but at the same time, when you take this leaf for example, it has a very not so smooth margin. It is almost like a saw, the instrument with which we cut wood, etc. Said Shabnam. Ammu and Shabnam shouted together, We also want to be the plant fairy. To which Didi said, not today, maybe next Sunday. It is time to go home now. On the way back, Didi recited a poem for everyone. So now you can see how Didi got a chance to be the plant fairy, how Michael had got to be the chance to be the plant fairy, and seeing that Ammu and Shabnam had also wanted to be the plant fairy. But it was already late and time to go home. So Didi suggested that they all go home and come next Sunday and play the same game, and then Ammu and Shabnam could be plant fairies. And while going home, Didi suggested that they read a poem, or she will read a poem out for them. Now, before we read the poem, we will see an exercise. Read and write what can be seen in the garden. Now, I have a set of answers over here, but I suggest you to write your own answers, and when you can't come up with them, you can use this as help. Some things which we see in our garden are trees, creepers, small plants, grass, benches, and flowers. Now, I suggest you all to do this as a homework and compare your answers with this and see whether any of them match. Now, let us look on to the poem. You can see how Didi sang a poem for or recited a poem for all the students. Red, purple, and even yellow. Some green, wet, and loose. Leaves are of different kinds and of different shapes and shades. Some are like the elephant's ears, and some are playful like the devil. Some are torn and some are folded, and some even eaten like the beetle. And in the early dawn's darkest hue, you will find the flowers cry tear like dew. Some are like butterflies, some like bees, some are hairy, and some plain. Some dry up to look thorns, and some even resemble cranes. Whoosh, whoosh, scuttle and flutter, in the breeze they all do mutter. All day long they smile and play, and in the night they sleep away. Leaves are of different kinds and of different shapes and hues. The poem, thus recited by Didi, was written by none other than Vijendra Pal Shishodia. This poem was originally recited or written in Hindi, which, as you can see above, has been translated for all of you in English. Now, as an activity, I would like all of you to fill these flowers and these leaves with a color of your choice. It can be any color. It can be red, it can be pink, it can be purple, it can be green. It's up to you. You can fill those flowers and leaves as you find wishful. Now, let us see the difficult words in this poem, just to see whether you can read them. We can see how they have written some words like scuttle and flutter. Scuttle, SCUTTLE, and flutter, FLUTTER. You can see double letter in both scuttle and flutter. And another word which you might find difficult or tricky in spelling is resemble. RESEMBLE, resemble, or means look alike. Now, this poem is not to be by-hearted, obviously. This poem is so that in a class you all children can read aloud and have fun. You don't need to by heart this poem, but I would like all of you to color these and bring it by the next class. And that is the end of this chapter. Thank you.